Chapter 8. Give up any need to try to be abundant. What does it take to receive money in abundance into your life? It takes a willingness to give up, quote unquote, asking for money in the first place. Stop asking so hard for the money. The asking is what creates the problem in the first place. Give all of that wanting up. Instead, go deep within into the inner sanctuary and notice the universal good that has always been there. In the beginning, this universal good will be in the form of mere good feelings. They may not look anything at all like dollars which you seek, but they feel the same. They are broadly of the same vibrational nature and quality, even better than what you can logically conceive in your mind. So give up the need to ask for money day in and day out. That is keeping you trapped in an endless cycle of limitation. Each time you perceive the need to ask for something, you are attached to a certain logical outcome which you have pictured in your mind. You are worried whether you will get it or not. These feelings of worry and attachment cloud your inner state. Feelings of worry and fear are never compatible with the feelings of abundance. Feelings of abundance are feelings of ease, flow, peace, and freedom. These feelings can never be found in worry, and neither can worrying make any positive manifestations happen. The natural feeling of abundance are there once you let go of and drop all your negative contradictory feelings. They're there once you take off your shades which tinted everything with overriding worry and fear. Take off your shades and see the glorious universe and the world around you for what it is. Understand that what you are looking at this moment is never inherently real. Everything is merely propped up by the energy summoned by your inner state. This is why when I finally understood these teachings, I was able to, quote unquote, give up most of my worrying all at once. In the past, I would look at the bills I had to pay and worry about whether I had enough money for this month. Then my mind would go into overdrive, making calculations for the next month and the next. All of this is like getting carried away by a scene in a movie and allowing your imagination to have power over you. Silly to do so. The movie has no more power over you than you have power over your inner states. Once I understood these universal principles, the bills and bank account did not morph into something else overnight. They were still the same physically, but the biggest change was in me. I could now look at them differently. I now know that they were the manifested results of my previous inner states, and that my new inner state from this point on would change everything in massive ways. This was all the knowledge and knowing I needed. No outside assurance was necessary. Therefore, in the intervening weeks when I still observed my quote-unquote old financial reality, I paid no attention to it. I said, this is my old reality that is in the process of changing to something better. I said it, felt it, and believed in it because I finally understood these universal principles. And sure enough, within a week or two, physical signs started to occur in my reality. They started, innocuously enough, in the form of a phone call from an old client wanting to hire me for some work. Then more phone calls and more work opportunities followed. All of this happened without me having to take a single physical action. Please understand that physical action is not the key here. No active physical intervention is needed on your part. What is needed on your part is mental intervention in the form of letting go or dropping of all your unwanted negative thoughts and staying there. That is all that is required of you. Was it easy for me to drop my negative thoughts and stay there in the beginning? Absolutely not. It was downright scary for me. It was scary because my ego mind still kept feeding me all sorts of doomsday scenarios on what would happen if I did not have money. The ego mind will keep feeding you all this information to keep you, quote unquote, safe. It wants you to plan for the future and take preventative measures against unseen dangers. But the ego mind, too, is acting from its limited physical perspective. It does not know what the universe knows. It operates in isolation as an individualistic self cut off from the universe. Therefore, the solutions proposed by the ego, and even the rational self, are all based on your physical effort alone. That is why you feel so drained and worn out. We are not in this alone. We are not meant to do this alone. All through my life, I had come to believe that I was in this alone and I had to solve all my financial issues alone. Therefore, everything that I did was predicated on taking action. Everything I did was based on the premise of making something happen through the power of my physical actions and influence. Did it work? To some extent. I achieved some results, but obviously still not enough to achieve everlasting abundance and success. In fact, a lot of what I did made me unhappy and wore me out. Of course, I was worn out because I was not living by these highest universal truths. Over time, I allowed myself to believe that I was separate from everyone else and separate from the universe. Someone who does everything by himself will wear himself out sooner or later. How are we meant to function in this universe? In each moment, there are universal forces standing by and waiting to intervene on our behalf. Universal energy is always flowing through us, whether we realize it or not. When we acknowledge this universal flow and make use of it, we become one with the universal flow. We are no longer struggling against the flow and the tide of things. The universal flow is what ties everything together. You go along with the universal flow by letting go of and dropping all your negative, contradictory thoughts that make you feel bad. In the moment, you let all of those negative, contradictory feelings go. Your sense of well-being and spontaneous joy lets you know that you are moving along with the universal flow. While it may seem as if you are sitting there, not moving or physically going anywhere, understand that you are, at this very moment, being swept along with the universal flow. We are so attached to physical space and physical reality that we look for physical signs of our progress. We look at our surroundings to see if they have changed, or at other tangible signs for, at quote unquote, evidence of our transformation. Doing so will be doing it backwards. I have shown you, through the projector analogy earlier, that the same object may be displayed on the screen, but made up of many different frames, each holding an image of the same object. Therefore, things are vibrating and progressing so rapidly in every moment that you do not even know it. The reality that is perpetuated stays the same to our physical senses. When you close your eyes and shift your focus to the inside, you are letting go of negative thoughts, feelings, and beliefs that you have held over a lifetime. Don't even make an effort to let them go. Just close your eyes, turn inwards, and notice spontaneous good feelings that are there. This mere shift of focus would mean you have let go for the moment. You may feel a profound sense of unconditional joy and exhilaration far beyond anything which you have experienced before. Not even your best and highest physical achievements could have given you this glorious feeling. Try it for yourself. If you have to do something or perceive a need to do something about your current situation, then do this and nothing else. Sit quietly by yourself and feel those good feelings intensify. Don't make them intensify or try to conjure them up. Remove or drop the words make, do, try, or effort from any of this. Instead, replace them with notice. Simply notice what is there, and it will intensify itself for you. On the outside, it may seem as if you are making little physical progress. It may seem as if you are not moving anywhere. This seems like the most illogical thing to do in the face of pressing problems, which is why so few people ever get down to doing it. As a result, few people have the wisdom of taking this path. I am now cajoling you to do so because, trust me, I have tried everything humanly possible. If there were a method, or technique, or spell, or hack that claimed to bring me more money and prosperity, I would have tried it. I have never found more lasting success than what I am describing to you now. Each time one of those money spells or hack worked, the effect was only temporary and sporadic. They did not work as well as I wanted them to. Or I would tire myself out trying to apply them over and over again. I did not achieve everlasting inner peace of mind. And why is that so? Perceiving a need to use one of those techniques was a large part of the issue. And then subsequently using them kept me trapped in a state of inner lack. How can we experience abundance in our reality when our inner states are grounded in lack? From the outside, it seems you are making no progress at all, at least in physical terms. But you are making great inner progress. You have just dropped a lifetime of worrying about your finances, or at least reduced it considerably. Remember your universal secretary from the last chapter? This is when she can do the other half of her work. This is when she can deliver what you have always asked for. This is when she can deliver what matches your new inner state to you, which is all the good, money, abundance, prosperity, happiness, wellness, and health that you have always wanted. The universal goodness that you experience when you close your eyes and turn inwards signifies your highest and purest connection to the universe. This is why it feels so good. You perceive in that moment the true nature of your being. Only good could come to you when you are in this state because only good will be compatible with you. When you were previously immersed in feelings of constant worry, fear, disappointment, and frustration about your finances, only things that match that could have come to you. But now, things are different. All you need to do is stay there and maintain these universal good feelings, and all the good you have asked for in a form individualized for you will be added to your experience. You do not have to take my word for this. I have taught this technique to hundreds of thousands of readers over the years. I have done everything I can through the power of the written word and my intention for this series of books. But what is left now is up to you. It is up to you whether you want to turn inwards from this moment on and devote yourself to this new way of thinking and acting in the world. If you decide to do so, despite your initial skepticism, and persist at it, then the universe responds in the most beautiful and glorious ways possible. I can assure you that the universe will surprise and stump you in the most amazing ways. I have no adequate words to convey how the universe will surprise you, because even my most uplifting words are limited by the technicalities of our language. When the universal good flows into your life in huge, unbridled, unrestricted ways, you will instinctively understand what I have been talking about. You will finally understand why your previous worries, fears, and frustrations about the future have been unfounded.